who did we say God is? Jesus is God, right? And that he was manifest in what? Flesh. And when he was manifest, where was he born? In a manger. And he was born being a child. So now we know that he is God because Paul says that he is God above all things. Now look at what verse 80 says. Are we all there? So the child grew, he grew in grace and became strong in spirit, and he was in the desert till the day of his manifestation to Israel. He was strengthened, what? How do you strengthen your spirit? You give it an injection. You eat a healthy food. How? With knowledge. It is to say that God himself, listen to this, that God himself gets into an earthen vessel and he forgot who he was. You know that you are going through the same thing. Look, God gets into the flesh, God himself, and it says that he, God above all things, and now when he gets into the flesh, he says, hey, who am I? He got amnesia. What's my name? And Mary had to tell him. An angel told me that to call you Jesus. Oh, yes. And who am I? And it seems like Mary had to tell him. Listen, Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6 says, and she will speak about him. So the child had to grow, and at the age of 12, a little more, and so forth, until he was manifest to Israel. Because I'm going to tell you something. If he had not grown and strengthened his spirit, you think he would have went to the cross? Well, even knowing and educating himself and strengthening his spirit, when it was time for the cross, he had the cup and he says, "Ooh, this is difficult." And he said, "Let this cup pass from me." Look how God himself prays. Let it be your will. That's how you pray. Oh God, you don't even know who you are. You are a God. But if you do not renew yourself, you think you're a piece of flesh. Puerto Rican, Colombian, Costa Rican, Guatemalan. That's what you think you are? That's what religion thinks. But you cannot think that you are just anything. But what did Paul say? Renew, he says, be transformed by the renewal of your mind. And do not conform to this world, because otherwise you're not going to experience God's will that is pleasing and perfect. Do you think he would have suffered? Do you think that when they spat on him, he would have gotten stones and stoned them? But he was renewing himself. He says, this is part of my mission. As a matter of fact, he says, no one can take my life. I lay it down and I have power to resurrect it from the dead. Hello.